Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to replace all the U-joints on my Jeep TJ. There are 7 U-joints total on it, 2 at the front wheels on the front axle. I mean 1 at each wheel, so 2 on the front axle, and then 5 on the actual drive shaft. For the drive shaft, the U-joints are going to be mine are the Spicer. They're going to be the 1310X, and it's actually beefier than what came on the stock sport model that I have. So this is a replacement and an upgrade for me. I don't have the front 2 in yet. They're still coming in the mail, so today I'm just going to run through and do hopefully all 5 that are on the actual drive shaft. Alright, let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, so bear with me, there's going to be a little camera motion and not the best angle. It's a little tight down here. But this is the rear of the Jeep back here. This is my rear axle, and this is the rear of the drive shaft. So the first thing you're going to want to do is probably spray everything down with a little PB blaster or penetrating oil. Your choice. I find it helps. And then give that, I don't know, a little bit of time to soak. Preferably if you do it a day or 2 in advance, but if not, I just did mine like half an hour ago. So then you're going to want to mark your drive shaft and everything just to make sure you get everything lined back up in the proper order and where it goes. So once you do that, you're going to need to remove, there's 2 bolts on each side that are like a little C-clamp that holds the U-joint on there. You're going to want to remove those, and those are a 5/16. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those out real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, now I've got both those clips loose. They're not loose, but off. So let's see if we can give her a little tap. This is a rubber mallet, by the way. You don't want to beat up your drive shaft. There we go. Oh, well. Well, that popped right out of the other U-joint, but alright, that's off. There we go. Cap came off of the other side. We'll slide it back on. Pretend like that never happened. Alright, let me turn you a little bit. Alright. So, transfer case, and that direction is the front of the Jeep. So now that that's apart, you can slide this bad boy. Well, let me turn to an angle that works because, like a jerk, I did not jack my Jeep up first, so I'm just stuck down here. There's a nice little clamp on that. Oh. Alright, I didn't even need those, I just unhooked it. Okay. Hey! What do you know? Alright, now she's coming out. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So there it is. There's the old U-joint. That's one of them. The other one's in there. And this is the new U-joint. Here's the nice shiny new one. And it comes with the replacement clips. And it actually comes with a few different, I think they're thicknesses. So when you're putting it in there, if it's loose or it needs a different size thickness, you can replace it because they clip them in right there. And that's what holds the U-joint in. Alright, now we'll move on to actually replacing the U-joints. Okay, so next what you want to do is go in here with a pair of needle nose pliers and get all these clips out. This one's kind of stuck, so I'm just banging it loose. There we go. Alright, got both those out. Alright, so you're going to want a bigger and a smaller socket. My bigger socket is 1 1/16, and that's going to sit just outside on the outer ring there, so the U-joint can actually be punched down into it. So it'll fit right over the U-joint. So we're going to have it down here like this. And then the other one is a 3/4 inch, and that one fits just inside the ring, so we can hammer it out. So let's go ahead and give that a little go. Okay guys, these are the original U-joints in my Jeep's in 04, so they were not really wanting to come out. So I sprayed them with some more PB Blaster, and I went and rented a ball joint press, and I didn't want to bend my ears trying to hammer it out with the socket method. So I got the ball joint press on here, and I think I just gave it a few turns, and we got a nice loud pop, so I think it finally broke the rust loose. So we're just gonna keep... woo. Yep, breaking it loose. A little scary every time. I thought I broke an ear on my drive shaft the first time. I mean, I'm cranking kind of hard, but I'm not like killing it. Whew. Yeah, it's fun, horrifying, however you want to look at it. We're almost there. Yep. Alright, so we pulled off that cap. I'm just going to throw it away. So now we'll stick it back in and go the other way. Alright, it's pushed all the way through. So now we'll just do the same thing. Try and get this guy off. This one does not want to come off. There we go. Beautiful. So this is the part that gets kind of tricky. You have to take these off, and you don't want the pins inside there to fall down. So see all those little bearings? You want them to stay on the sides. So you got to be very careful with those, otherwise it's going to be a pain in the ass to stand them back up. You don't want to hit this with anything too hard because you can bend or deform your ears or ding this up. This is just a block of hickory. And this one's not seated all the way, it's just kind of barely touching. That's why I'm going to go ahead and use the press instead of beating it with a piece of wood, just so I get it on there without knocking all those bearings loose. So now I've got that pressed in there. So I'm going to get these clips that it came with. And I'm going to take the clip and I'm going to put it in there. Maybe. That one's in there. So now I left this one flush and pushed that one in deep enough to get the clip in there. So now I'm going to push this one down so it's pushing up against the clip so I can get the other clip in. And again, just to be safe, I'm going to use the press just so I can apply smooth and gentle pressure instead of whacking it with anything. Check it. We are pretty much right up against it. Let me see if I can get a clip in on this side. If not, I'll give it just a pinch more turn. All right, sorry, camera battery died, but on this other side, I was cranking it down quite a bit, and it didn't really want to pop, and I don't want to go too much and bend the ears or, you know, strip anything, so I popped this off, sprayed some fluid and everything. I just sprayed some WD-40 on there to kind of help lube it up, and with it real cranked pretty tight, but not too tight to break anything, I just started tapping, not too hard on the end with a hammer, just to give it that shock, and it finally popped and didn't shoot all the way through, but it jumped down quite a bit. So now I'm going to continue cranking that U-joint out. One thing I did too, while I'm thinking about it, is this side I taped these end caps on because I don't want them to fall off while I'm trying to get this one out, because then it can mess up those bearings in there. Okay. One other thing I'd probably recommend doing that I didn't do on the first one is just hitting it with a wire wheel, just getting in here. Just cleaning it up. It'd make it easier for the next one to go on, and probably getting those clips in as well. Alright, this is when it becomes important to line up those lines that you marked on the drive shaft. So I've got mine lined up. Alright, and that did it. So now we're good and ready to go ahead and stick it back on. Alright, let's hop over there. Alright, so making sure we keep aligned with our marks, I went ahead and slid that back on. And now all I really have to do is get my ratchet is put this back up here. Mind the end caps that aren't being held on by clamps. Alright, there we are. Slid that back in. It fits right in there. You've got a tiny little lip that'll hold these end caps on, so you want to make sure you get it lined up on both sides. I took my tape off, obviously, and if you use tape like me, just be pretty careful when you're removing the tape, that way it doesn't pull the caps off. Alright, I'm going to start on this side so I don't block the camera, but this is just putting the 4 bolts back on, so there's really nothing to that. So I'll do this side real quick, and then I'll probably just kill the camera and roll over there and do the other side. Out of all the extremely rusty bolts on this Jeep that have either broke or been a pain, surprisingly these 4 little bolts on these clamps that hold this U-joint on the shaft here, really, I can screw them in with my fingers. It's impressive. I wish they would all be like that. So, I'm still gonna do the front drive shaft and then the 2 on the front axle as well. So let me go ahead and kill the camera and do the other side, and I'll be right back. Well, I think that does it for this episode. Next I will be doing the front axle U-joints and then the front drive shaft U-joints. So if you want to see that, please like and subscribe. I'll be adding more and more Jeep footage probably, specifically on my TJ and then some trail rides. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.